we are back for day 2 of the America's Cup. I'm Alison Kent, here with Reid. Beautiful day?
It's a beautiful day to get out on the water and take a great chili bin, go for a swim, maybe even wakeboard.
Maybe a fish.
How about sailing?
I don't know if it's going to be a good day for sailing.
Yeah, so the forecast isn't looking overly great at the moment, but who knows? This is New Zealand. Strange things can happen. The race director Ian Murray has gambled, in his own words, on going out to Corsi and just kind of hoping, but the odds of racing getting on today are pretty low, but it's still going to be an epic day out there on the water, so you'd be kind of silly not to go out.
Yeah, Ian made a good point today in his briefing. You know, do boaties go out on the water today? Why wouldn't you? It's Friday. It's a beautiful day. If you have the opportunity to go out, you should get out on the water. Get out there. Maybe you'll see some racing. Maybe you won't, but regardless, it's a beautiful day.
I mean, you'll probably see some AC-75s getting towed in.
They will be foiling.
Yeah, exactly. Just whether it's because of their own sails or not, we don't know. So hopefully we will get some racing in. If it's at the lower end of the wind range, then could see the appearance of the Wampa.
The Wampa. I don't know. I'm not really convinced that those sails are going to go up. From previous discussions, they're heavy. The New Zealand one looked a little bit smaller than your average Code Zero, more of a blasting jib top reacher.
I did enjoy certain outlets describing it as a spinnaker.
Don't know if I would call it a spinnaker, but hey, whatever floats your boat. But I don't know, you know, maybe we'll see them. There's, you know, some fans that are speculating today might be the day. I'm not convinced, but I don't know a lot, so we'll see. It would be interesting, but I just don't know if that's really...
So just a reminder for you, they take wind readings between 9 and 4 minutes pre-start, and it needs to average at least 6.5 knots. That's the minimum wind speed required to get racing underway. If it doesn't reach that, they're just going to keep pushing the start out. So we'll wait out there for a couple of hours on the water, but that's okay. It's probably the time to have a look at the predict wind forecast, seeing as we've already discussed wind, so let's see what the experts actually have to say.
So today we're going to be on course E. The synoptic situation, a ridge of high pressure moves northward over Auckland.
The wind is going to be northeast 3 to 6 knots, building to 5 to 7 knots by 6 p.m, so do expect delays to racing. There's also a possible late change to a south-southwest, so who knows. It'll be sunny though, and a high of 22 degrees they think.
The tide is high at 7:48 p.m. incoming, so it'll be wind with current. It could become a real factor if the sailing happens at the low end of the wind range.
And that would have been much more of a factor if they were out in course A, and that factored into the decision for why they're at course E. But during the course of the day, check out the predict wind observations for how it's all going out there, and hopefully we will get to see these boats foiling. If not, hopefully by tomorrow we'll be at level 1. We find out at the time of filming in about an hour or so whether or not we're going to be at alert level 1.
Yeah, so hopefully when you're watching this we'll already have known what the deal is, and hopefully tomorrow, you know, maybe we can get on some courses that you can go watch from land. That would be really good for the public and viewing. Ian Murray, the regatta director, said they have to start a race by 6 p.m, so they'll know if they're going to start a race probably by 5. So if you're out there bobbing around, hopefully you won't be out there too long before some decisions are made.
So because we're sad and tragic followers of the sport of sailing, I spent yesterday looking at the port and starboard cameras for the live feed from day 1 of racing. And one of the observations I made, you know, that wasn't too stupid, was that on the Luna Rossa Prata Pirelli team boat, there are 3 voices in constant communication, so you've basically got a brain's trust of 3, and that's Francesco Bruni, Pietro and Jimmy. Whereas on the Team New Zealand boat, there's 5 voices. You've got JJ, or Josh Jr., Andy Maloney, Glenn Ashby, Blair Tuke, and obviously Peter Burling. Interesting 5v3. Do you think that'll make a difference?
I don't know if it necessarily makes a difference how many voices, depending on what kind of information you're looking for. I think the most interesting thing as a sailor ourselves is that what they're saying isn't that much different than what we say when we're out on the water.
Oh yeah, we've got 2 boat links on him, you know, all that. It's just pretty standard chat.
Exactly.
Or oh, breeze coming on in 5, you know.
And
do you want the right?
It's really interesting for us to see that, and it's exciting. I mean, obviously they execute it a little bit better than we do, or else we'll be out there, but it's exciting for, you know, the average sailor to be hearing those comms and thinking, oh, you know, that's what I say too. So it makes it a bit relatable. It's really cool to see.
Yeah, you should check out those live streams or that particular camera angle. It's really cool. You know, for instance, at one point, I think in a top mark, the Luna Rossa was coming from the left side of the course and going around the right gate. Jimmy took over for a bit, even though he was to leeward, because he could see where the mark is and Keiko couldn't. You know, you don't tend to get that sometimes on the other feeds, so it's cool to pick up on that stuff.
Yeah, thinking on your feet. That's why they're good at what they do.
Exactly. So thanks for tuning in, and a big thanks to all of our supporters and our sponsors. Couldn't do this without you, so live, sail, die out.
Catch you later.
Here we go! Yeah!